Good morning. Before I start to explain the quote by Swami Vivekanand, let me first depict some examples on the two most important words in this quote, that is ideals and thoughts. An ideal is a high principle or value that is abided perfectly by an individual in a society as he wants to go towards the goal. Ideals are particularly important in ethics as the order in which one places them determines as to how much and to which amount he reveals them to be real and sincere. For example, someone who claims to have an idea of honesty but is willing to lie to protect a friend demonstrates that not only does he hold friendship as an ideal, but that it's a more important one than honesty. So, ideals can be seen to be similar to values. Now, from ideals come idealism. Idealism is the metaphysical and epistemological doctrine that ideas and thoughts make up as fundamental truths. In general, idealism relates to a person's high ideals with the connotation that some of them may be unrealizable or impractical. Like the flip sides of a coin, ideals too have flip sides. If there are false ideals, then there are also true ones. If there are senseless ideals, then there are also those which have the possibility of being realized. Also, there are unattainable ideals, but there are those which can be attained with hard work and determination. Our ideals resemble the plans of a builder or the model of a sculptor. If a builder has to build an admirable building, then first of all, he must secure admirable plans. If the sculptor has to carve an immortal statue, then first of all, he must fashion a worthy model. So someone has truly said that ideals are engines drawing us to higher levels. Maybe most of you don't know that the color purple denotes spirituality and imagination. It is the color which is the factor for stimulating the inspiration of high ideals. It is an introspective color that allows us to get in touch with our deeper thoughts. Now, I was taking the example of common men. If we take the example of some of the great men the world has ever produced, for example, the physicist Sir Isaac Newton, he always had the thought of finding the force beneath the earth due to which all objects thrown up come back down. The falling of the apple on his head only triggered that thought. So we can see that in this case, a thought process led to one of the most remarkable discoveries in the history of mankind, that is the law of gravitation. We too, as individuals, need those extra triggering moments in order to take our ideas to a new dimension. At this moment, I would like to quote Vincent van Gogh. Great things are not done by impulses, but by a series of small things brought together. Education is said to be the greatest medium of high ideals and thoughts. But are we really experiencing that sort of education? No. Education is not that part of information that is fed into our brains and runs right there undigested all life long. We must have life buildings, man-making character and assimilation of ideas to attain our own goal. I would like to depict another example of one of the greatest business tycoons that India has ever produced, the late Dhirubhai Ambani. He hailed from a very poor family and lived in moderate conditions. When he entered the corporate world many years back, he only had a mere vision of constructing one of the biggest companies in the world. And today we can see it as Reliance Industries Limited, which accounts for almost 5% of the country's total tax revenues. So it might be the case that some ideas are too high to be attained, but they also have their own significance. For example, a middle class man who tends to improve his financial conditions, it might be the case that he may not be able to do it by a huge margin, but this thought will certainly gear up his work. This will no longer be an objective, but it will seem as a mission to him. To conclude, I would like to quote some lines from the great monk Swami Vivekanand. Feel till your heart stops and the brain reels, and you will think you will go mad, but after that will come power and indomitable energy. Do not be afraid of small beginnings. Great things will come afterwards. Be unselfish, be courageous, even unto death. Have faith that you were all born to do great things. Thank you.